Board of Regents cost decisions.
There is a fire watch in eastern New Mexico. Find out more in my full weather forecast.
And 6 are presumed dead after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. News 3 New Mexico starts right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Good evening and welcome to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Emily Wilbanks.
And I'm Andres Chavez. Thank you so much for watching.
A Roswell man has been arrested and charged in the death of another local man that resulted from a drive-by shooting in the south part of the city on March 24th. 20-year-old Martin Soltero III is charged with first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and 2 counts of felon in possession of a firearm. Soltero is accused of killing 53-year-old Freddie Allen. The investigation by the Roswell Police Department's Criminal Investigations Division found Soltero drove his pickup truck and fired multiple gunshots at a car parked on the side of the street. Allen was sitting in the driver's seat of the car at the time and was struck by multiple gunshots, killing him. Soltero is being held in the Chavez County Detention Center. Milk producers across the state, including here in eastern New Mexico, are keeping a close eye on their herds of cattle. It comes as milk from dairy cows in Texas and Kansas have tested positive for bird flu. Officials with the Texas Animal Health Commission confirmed the flu virus is the type A H5N1 strain, known for decades to cause outbreaks in birds and to occasionally infect people. The virus is affecting older dairy cows in Texas and Kansas and in New Mexico, causing decreased lactation and low appetite. The commercial milk supply is safe and risk to people is low, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Dairies are required to only allow milk from healthy animals to enter the food supply, and milk from the sick animals is being diverted or destroyed. Pasteurization also kills viruses and other bacteria, and the process is required for milk sold across the U.S. So far, no disease has been detected in eastern New Mexico.
Residents of the Hotel Clovis Lofts remain shaken after discovering that one of their apartment managers allegedly stole over $9,500 in rent and deposit checks. Suspicion arose after it was noticed that over 18 payments had not been deposited to a bank, as employees were questioned, including 45-year-old Angela Arguello. On Wednesday morning, Arguello was booked into Curry County Jail on suspicion of embezzlement and was released on bond the following morning. Questions remain unanswered regarding the stolen funds, but residents hope to find peace of mind as the investigation continues. The State of New Mexico Office of Broadband Access and Expansion is set to receive a significant boost in resources for workforce development thanks to the efforts of Senators Ben Ray Lujan and Martin Heinrich. A total of nearly $2 million has been allocated to support the establishment of a broadband workforce development trailer, curriculum development, and training initiatives across the state. The investment will enable the office to enhance its capacity, training and preparing individuals for careers in the broadband industry. The Broadband Workforce Development Trailer will serve as a mobile training facility equipped with state-of-the-art technology and educational resources that will deliver hands-on training experiences to communities across the state. By offering targeted training programs and certifications, the Office of Broadband Access and Expansion will help individuals advance their careers and seize opportunities in the growing broadband industry.
The Portales Municipal School District is inviting families to join them for the New Mexico Festival Wednesday, April 3rd. The event takes place from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Roosevelt County Fairgrounds. Different classes include learning how to weave on a loom, discovering dinosaur fossils, planting green chili, and many more as well. You can also view all of the classes, parade submissions as well. All students aged 3 to grade 6 must be accompanied by an adult at all times during the event. You can find the fairgrounds at 705 East Lime Street.
Well, guys, the start of the weekend was really nice. It was kind of warm, and then all of a sudden there was a lot of snow on Monday. Yeah. What's it going to be looking like precipitation-wise for the rest of the week?
Yeah, so the temperatures are going to keep starting to fluctuate over and over, and we're actually seeing a fire watch later for the rest of this week. But as you see currently, we have some rain that's sort of traveling northward up from Florida all the way up past New York and all the way up into Quebec for Canada. And then taking a look at the western part of the United States, both California, Idaho, and Oregon are all experiencing some rain and some snow showers mixed in as well. Taking a look at New Mexico, however, we do have an allergy report. We're experiencing some high tree allergies going on. So if you have those allergies, be sure to take the proper precautions. We're also seeing a fire weather watch in Curry, Quay, Roosevelt, and San Miguel counties, as well as Harding, Morris, San Miguel, and Union counties until Friday at 7 p.m. But I'll have more in my full weather forecast. Back to you.
Thank you, Jonathan. The Eastern New Mexico University Board of Regents has approved a 0% tuition and fees increase for the 2023-2024 school year. The initiative will continue to keep ENMU as one of the most affordable schools in the Southwest and the most affordable four-year university in the state. University Chancellor James Johnson told the Board of Regents at a recent meeting in the KENW-Ruidoso that it was important to minimize the cost to students. The university's website says that with an 84% first-time freshman admission rate, Eastern New Mexico University has one of the most accessible opportunities in the state for New Mexico for students to start, continue, or finish their higher education.
Since a reintroduction campaign began in 1998, about 10 Mexican gray wolves have been placed in the Southwest each year. And for them to further thrive, experts said genetic diversity is critical. Roz Brown from the Public News Service has more.
Gray wolves once roamed not just New Mexico, but also Texas and Arizona. Due to persecution and poisoning, they all but disappeared from the landscape in the 1970s. In recent decades, Craig Miller with Defenders of Wildlife says a cooperative effort among ranchers and conservationists has boosted their numbers from 0 to more than 250.
This will be the 26th anniversary of having the rarest, most critically endangered wolf in the world on the ground in the wild. And of course, we're trying to make sure recovery unfolds according to the way science says it needs to be successful.
Miller says the population has been growing for 8 consecutive years, but the species' biggest long-term threat is a lack of genetic diversity. He notes the border wall between the U.S. and Mexico continues to block wildlife movement and habitat connectivity, exacerbating the genetic isolation of the two existing populations. Since 1998, Miller says the unproductive mentality of us versus them, wolves versus cows, ranchers versus environmentalists has diminished. A win not just for wolves, but also grizzly bears, jaguars, or other controversial carnivores.
That's really what puts the fuel in the tank to move this program forward, is that tolerance and problem solving, conflict reduction.
Cooperation has eased tensions between those in favor and those against repopulating wolves, but it's still a challenging issue.
While wolves are always going to be controversial, the goal is not for ranchers to warmly embrace wolves or to wear Defenders of Wildlife t-shirts. It is to tolerate wolves that aren't causing problems and to take steps to reduce those problems from arising in the first place.
Defenders has a successful program that works with college students to provide them hands-on wildlife management experience with the goal of increasing the wolf population while also emphasizing conflict prevention. I'm Roz Brown reporting.
Estimated 257 wolves across New Mexico and Arizona. That represents a 6% increase from the 2002 count and 8th consecutive year of growth.
The Village of Ruidoso is hosting a 5K bunny run and walk, as well as an Easter egg hunt on Saturday, March 30th. The run starts at 6:30 a.m. at the Cedar Creek Trail in Ruidoso, New Mexico, and it will require a $30 registration fee. The first 50 participants will receive a free t-shirt, and finishers will receive medals while supplies last. This event will feature special guests such as the Easter Bunny and Smokey the Bear. You can register online for the event at www.ruidosoparksanders.com, and for more information, you can call 575-257-5030. As far as other events in eastern New Mexico, the City of Clovis community will host its Easter egg hunt on Saturday, March 30th. The egg hunt will start at 9 a.m. The event will take place at the Guy Leader Softball Complex at 1801 East 14th Street. Children between the age of 0 and 3 years old, 4 and 5 years old, 6 to 8 years old, and 9 to 11 years old will all hunt on separate fields. You can also expect to enjoy a few giveaways with amazing prizes. Immediately after, families will be invited for free admission to the Hillcrest Park Zoo between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. on the same day. Tigers, giraffes, and peacocks are just a few of the animals you'll get to see in the 140 acres of the land at the Hillcrest Zoo.
A Clovis man was found guilty of trafficking a controlled substance on March 22nd on Friday. 53-year-old David Brown was arrested January 25th, 2023 in his hotel room where they found 10 grams of methamphetamines, black tar heroin, Xanax, and fentanyl pills. He was then arrested and taken into custody. Brown was taken into custody immediately upon the guilty verdict, and his sentencing will be set for a later date. For more information, please contact the District Attorney's Office at 575-769-2246. A community is in shock and questions remain unanswered following the police-involved death of an Alamogordo man. The man, David J.D. Romero, was confronted by police following reports that he had assaulted store employees and customers at the Walgreens on 955 North White Sands Boulevard. An altercation occurred where the man attempted to flee. Following a struggle, Romero was tasered and became unresponsive. Naloxone and other life-saving services were administered and EMS was called, but Romero was declared dead shortly after the incident. Officers suspect that the altercations and subsequent death of Romero may have resulted from a drug use and potential overdose, while many community members call for more investigation into circumstances surrounding his death. The incident will be investigated by the New Mexico State Police, while the Alamogordo Police Department plans to conduct a separate administrative review. Coming up after the break, Jonathan will have their full weather report for you.
But first, here's a look at today's financial market.
Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. Let's take another look at that weather, shall we? So we have some rain that's over here in the western part of the United States, sort of in California, all the way up into Oregon and Idaho. We're having like a mix of rain and snow. But taking a look at the eastern part of the United States, we're also seeing some rain that's traveling northward up through Florida, all the way up into New York and heading into Quebec, Canada as well. Taking a look at the central part of the United States, we have rain into Texas and up into Colorado as well. Taking a look at eastern New Mexico and New Mexico as a whole, we're seeing some rain that's sort of slowly traveling eastward out of the state. And that's going to be more of the same as it travels eastward into Texas. We have a fire weather watch in DeBaca, Guadalupe, Quay, and Roosevelt counties, as well as Harding, Mora, Quay, and San Miguel counties that'll be in effect until Friday at 7 p.m. And that's going to be all of this tan color right here. Taking a look at our wind speeds, right now we're seeing mostly 10 mile per hour to 20 mile per hour winds throughout most of the state. But as it slowly starts to pass and it slowly starts to get into Thursday and we start to head into that weekend, the wind is going to die down and then slowly get back up in speed, and we're going to see some higher speed winds in Friday towards the evening as we start to see those 40 to even 50 mile per hour winds throughout the state. Taking a look at our year's drought conditions, as we see from April, we didn't have a whole lot of drought as we started to head to the mid part of the year. But once we started to hit the end of 2023, that drought condition started to spring right back up. But as we start to approach the mid-year again, we are seeing some mostly moderate drought throughout most of New Mexico. But we are seeing extreme drought in the southern parts of the state as well as Santa Fe. But we are seeing exceptional drought all the way down here in Carlsbad. Taking a look at today's current temperatures, we have 50 in Farmington and 51 in Gallup for the Northwest. In the Southwest, we have 62 in Truth or Consequences and 69 in Las Cruces. We're seeing 55 in Albuquerque and 51 in Santa Fe, 49 in Raton with 45 in Clayton, 67 in Carlsbad and 64 in Hobbs. And for eastern New Mexico and West Texas, we're seeing 52 in Portales, 56 in Clovis, 54 in Amarillo, and 63 in Lubbock. Tonight's lows, we're going to be seeing a lot of 30s, 40s, and 50s throughout most of the state. We're seeing a 38 up here in Farmington and 33 in Gallup. We're seeing a 51 in both Las Cruces and Alamogordo, 42 in Albuquerque and 34 in Santa Fe. And for the Northeast, we have 32 up here in Raton and 40 in Clayton, 47 in Carlsbad and 48 in Hobbs. And taking a look at eastern New Mexico and West Texas, we've got 45 in Portales, 41 in Clovis, 47 in Amarillo, and 51 in Lubbock. Tomorrow's highs, we're going to be seeing mostly 60s and 70s throughout the state, as we have a 63 up here in Gallup. We're seeing a 69 in the Silver City and 72 in Socorro, with a 63 in Santa Fe. We're seeing 64 in Raton and 68 in Clayton, 79 in Carlsbad and 75 in Hobbs, and we're seeing a 73 in Portales and a 72 in Clovis. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast for Roswell, we're going to be seeing some 70s, and we're going to have a nice and warm Easter weekend, having that 83 and 81. But we're going to see those temperatures slowly dip down into the 60s on Tuesday, and it's going to pop back up to 70 on Wednesday. Carlsbad, we're going to see some wind on Easter Sunday with an 85, and then we're going to see that temperatures dip down as well. As we take a look at Portales, we're seeing some wind on Sunday and Monday for Easter Sunday, but those temperatures are going to go down to 66 and 55 as we enter the end of next week.
Well, I'm not excited about the winds, but I'm excited about the warm weather for Easter weekend.
I know, it's going to be really nice.
It's going to be good, especially as we go celebrate Easter this weekend. It's going to cool down a little bit more later on that next week, but it's nice to be able to enjoy the weather while it's warm then.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, that is all the news we have for you guys right now. We'll be back with more after the break.
The New Mexico State Fair announced their 5th and final concert for this year. Pop and rap artist Becky G is set to take the final spot for the event, and her concert is set to take place on Saturday, September 7th, with tickets going on sale March 29th. Becky G joins other artists to perform, such as country artist Jody Messina on September 6th, Brad Paisley on September 12th, Cole Swindle on Friday, September 13th, and Josh Turner on Saturday, September 15th. Tickets for the rest of the 2024 Rodeo Concert Series are already available at statefair.exponm.com.
Bone broth is delicious and offers a lot of health benefits too. If you live near Eastern New Mexico University, you can take your enjoyment of broth to the next level by learning how to properly can and store it. The intermediate level class on canning bone broth will take place at the ENMU Culinary Building on April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. led by Master Canner Randy Joe Eidsmo. Only 14 spots are available at $10 per ticket, so if you want to give it a try, you can call 575-825-0148. Broth is provided at the class. Just remember to bring your own jar.
This morning, recovery operations resumed for the 6 people missing following the collapse of Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Michael Yoshida has the latest on the ongoing efforts.
Video shows the moment the cargo ship slammed into Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge, causing it to collapse into the Patapsco River after it lost engine and electrical. And we now know the 6 victims were part of a road crew working on the bridge at the time of the accident. That includes Maynor Yasir Sowaso Sandoval. A family member tells CNN the married father of 2 from Honduras had been in the U.S. for over 18 years and started his own maintenance company. Officials say the other missing workers are from Guatemala, El Salvador, and Mexico.
Accidents happen, and this was a very unfortunate accident and very unfortunate tragedy. What one should highlight here is that we're part of the community. We build the community as well.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore issuing a promise to their families as the operation turned from a rescue to a recovery.
We will use every asset to make sure they find a sense of closure.
The Port of Baltimore remains closed. More than 1,000 members of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers are expected to assist in debris removal to get a shipping channel open. On Tuesday, President Joe Biden said he wants the federal government to pay for the full cost of rebuilding the bridge, with help from Congress. Advisors say it's still too early to know how long that could take.
We are not just going to build the bridge back, but we're going to build it in a way that honors the people of this moment and honors the community that bridge will support.
In Baltimore, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
According to sources, the 6 missing victims of the bridge collapse are presumed dead. Our hearts and prayers go out to all those affected by this tragic event. Coming up after the break, Jane will have his full sports report for you, so stay tuned.
Green and Silver Spring Football Game is this Friday at Greyhound Stadium at 6 p.m. The event is free for everyone. MLB Baseball Opening Day is 1 day away, as all 30 teams will be playing, as some of the new faces in new places will be the big stories. This year, as the biggest, is he was traded from the Angels to LA Dodgers, and he had a statement about the theft problem.
First of all, thank you very much for coming. I wanted to be here today to be able to talk. I'm sure it was very tough. It's been a tough week for fans and team officials, and I'm very grateful that the media has been patient in this process. Just on a personal note, I'm very saddened and shocked that someone who I'm trusted has done this.
On Thursday, March 28th, this week at 2 p.m., the Greyhound softball team will be facing off against the Midwestern State Mustangs. So consider showing up to the Greyhound softball field and showing your support for the Hounds. And the Ladies Hounds just got done with the 3-game series versus number 5 UT Tyler, and the Hounds lost the series 2-1, and that puts their record to 19-16. Enemy Baseball just wrapped up a 4-game series versus UT Permian Basin, and the Hounds won the first game, but they lost the last 3, which puts their record at 14-16. The long wait for the Spring Football League of the XFL and USFL are now won, as the UFL will kick off this weekend, as the 8 teams will be in action, with both defending champs of the past 2 leagues will face off first on Saturday, March 30th. Birmingham Stallions will face off Arlington Renegades. Enemy Track and Field is getting ready to host a home meet this Saturday, March 30th at Greyhound Stadium, with field events will start at 10 a.m. and the track events will start at 11 a.m. as the girls team ranked in the South Region rankings at number 7 and the boys are ranked number 10 in the South Central ranking. That's all the sports I have for you. We'll be more Friday. We'll be back at the desk after the break.
Welcome back. So Jonathan, can we get one last look at Portales going into this weekend?
Yes, as you can see, we've got 68 on Wednesday with some wind for the rest of today. We're seeing 77 and sunny on Thursday. But as we start to head into the weekend, we're seeing a lot of wind with 82 on Friday.
That really doesn't look that bad except for the wind, but you just got to deal with it in New Mexico, I guess.
Yeah, and it's going to hit up to about 30 miles per hour where we are.
Oh, exciting.
Another day for Portales, New Mexico.
I guess so. Thank you so much for watching.
Have a good evening.